Hi friends, it's Lisa Hetrick, illustrator for Gina K Designs, and I'm so grateful you could join me today. I have a clean and simple card today that is a little bit of a twist, and it is kind of a white on white look and feel with pops of color using my brand new stamp set with Gina K Designs called Your Wings. So here's a look at the set. You can see that my set is well loved and very inky, and I am loving sharing inspiration with you using this brand new set. So today I'm going to be focusing on using the wings in the stamp set to create kind of a die cut image. I also have layered eucalyptus and I have wrapped in love. These are two brand new sets from Gina K as well. So I think I'm going to be using this sentiment just a note because I really like the typography in that set. And I'm just going to go ahead and wing it and see what happens. Okay, so here is our color palette that I'm going to be using today. I have Wild Dandelion, Turquoise Sea, and Tranquil Teal, all Gina K Designs inks. I also have Sweet Corn because I think I want to integrate a little bit of a two-tone color. And when I want to do that with the yellows, I always grab Sweet Corn and Wild Dandelion. I've got my tidy towel here for cleaning up, and you can see that my tidy towel is well loved. And I also have some of the Gina K Designs Connect Glue, a pair of scissors because I'm going to be doing a little bit of fussy cutting, and I have these bright yellow Nuvo drops. I have a piece of layering white cardstock from Gina K right here that I'm going to be using for stamping the body of the butterfly along with the wings. I also have a piece of layering white cardstock cut to fit for my panel for my A2 size card. And this is a piece of Turquoise Sea to complete the card. So I'm keeping it really, really simple and letting the stamps be the star of the show, which is what I always seem to do. So I'm going to go ahead and pop out the butterflies, the wings from the Your Wings stamp set. And I'm going to use the wings and the body separately. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp down the wings onto my cardstock here to get an impression, and I'm putting the wings together. But what I want to show you here is, and I mentioned this in the introductory video, is that there's lots of opportunity for you to change up how you're going to stamp these wings in order to get a wider butterfly. So you could angle the wings differently to get a different wider butterfly, or you can layer them over top of each other when you're stamping to get different sizes. So I'm just going to nest the two of these just kind of symmetrically together and just go ahead and stamp them down like this. So I'm just going to go ahead and ink up the stamp, and I've put both wings on the block together, and I'm using some Sweet Corn and just going to go ahead and stamp it down onto the white layering cardstock just over here on the left. And all I'm doing is just getting an impression, and it's okay if you don't get a great impression because I just need to stamp that down so that I can cut it out. And I'm going to go ahead and take the Wild Dandelion and ink up the body of the butterfly and stamp that down alongside the butterfly over here on the right. And that is also a piece that I'm going to be cutting out with some scissors and just do a little bit of fussy cutting. These are really simple shapes, so I don't think it's really fussy cutting. It's just kind of trimming them out around the edges. Okay, so now that I have the butterfly, and isn't it just adorable? It's just like the perfect little die cut image. So I've got the butterfly. Now it's time to grab some of the bits and baubles from the Your Wings stamp set. And I'm grabbing the left and the right versions of the different pieces. I've got the floral piece. I've got some of the little star pieces. And I'm going to go ahead and ink them up. And I'm going to be coordinating my inks between Tranquil Teal and Turquoise Sea. And you can see that I'm taking the left version of the flower and the right version of the little flourish flower and inking them up with Turquoise Sea. And they're going to fit and position right into the bottom part of the butterfly's wings. So we're starting to do a little bit of pattern stamping. So we're adding pattern into the shape of this butterfly to kind of give it life. But because the butterfly is still white and are going to be layering it on a piece of white cardstock, it kind of still has that white on white feel, which kind of gives the whole card a little bit of a twist. So I'm taking the body and just kind of putting it in position so I can eyeball up where I want to put this little leafy piece, and just kind of nesting it up there around the top part of the wings. It fits in there just so perfectly. And by variegating the colors between the sweet corn and the wild dandelion and the turquoise and the tranquil teal, we get a lot of variety in this pattern. So we're just adding some pattern inside of this beautiful butterfly to kind of give it a whimsical look and feel. So I have the leaf element, the open line leaf element here, and I've inked that up with a little bit of sweet corn, and I'm using the left and the right versions of the stamp and just nesting them off of the outer edge of the wings, and it just kind of gives it a little extra bit of whimsy, and I love that. So I'm taking the star image and inking it up with some wild dandelion and just tapping that into a few areas where there's a little bit of negative space. And there are two sizes of that stamp. There's a small and like a medium, or an extra small and a small, so to speak, of the star. And it's just a nice little element that you can add in to as a filler. Okay, so I went ahead and took some Gina K Designs Connect glue and just added it to the back of my layered piece of cardstock, and this is going to be the base for the butterfly, and just kind of tidying it up a little bit here so that I can get ready to put that butterfly down. So the butterfly is white, and I'm just kind of bending the wings a little bit just to give it a little bit of extra lift before I add the Connect glue to just the center portion. Now you could put adhesive down and just put the whole thing down, but I kind of want it to have a little bit of lift around the edges and a little bit of extra texture and dimension because we are doing this white on white. So what's really popping here is the pattern that has been stamped into the butterfly. By stamping the wings and using it to create the die cut, it's just kind of a different and fun way to create a really clean and simple whimsical card. So I'm grabbing the sentiment from the layered eucalyptus set, and I'm going to just use the words just a note. So I'm going to ink that up with Tranquil Teal and then carefully wipe off the other sentiments underneath. Now sometimes I'll take scissors and I'll snip away the extra sentiments so that I can kind of move things around the way I want them, but this works just as well. So I'm going to go ahead and ink that up and stamp that right down in between the two bottom wings. And now I'm just going to go ahead and finish off the card with a little bit of the yellow Nuvo drops. And I'm just going to drop a few into the pattern in the center of these flowers here. And when I actually drop the yellow into the center of the flowers, it kind of it gives you the illusion that there's green there because the two colors are kind of transparent. So it's kind of fun. And now I'm just going to drop a few little dots here, there, and everywhere. I don't add a lot of embellishments. I tend to not add a lot of embellishments that are heavy or that add a lot of weight to the card. But these cute little Nuvo drops add just the perfect amount of extra texture and dimension, keeping it really simple and clean. Here are the two cards side by side, and I'm really digging it. There's so many different things that you could do with the color combinations alone with this kind of card. I hope you enjoyed today's card tutorial. Thanks so much for joining me. Please consider sharing the joy by liking this video and subscribing to this channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.